Alright, hello there you. You want to ask the questions, won't you? Right. We want to ask a question of the following footage, me and Molly, don't we? Right, okay, stop milking it, stop milking it. Hey. You're always milking it, you. That's it, sit down, sit down. Now then, yes, we got all to this morning. We did, what are you doing? Sorry about this. Right, this footage this morning, we took this footage, okay? Going out to work. And we asked ourselves, what on earth is going on here? What are all these lines? What's all this haze? Of course, all these are trails left behind by aeroplanes. Now, whether or not they've got the chemicals in the fuel, it is probable. Don't know. Very peculiar. But all this lot here are chemicals coming down. Now, in the Second World War, I believe it was the Mustang, I could be wrong with the plane, but I believe it was the Mustang. Lindbergh suggested to the military that they should add silver to the fuel. And of course, top brass went, no, they'll bugger up our engines. Bugger the engines up, put silver in. And he explained that that's what he did when he went to fly around the world. He illustrated to them that by putting silver in, it actually makes the aviation fuel go further. And the Mustang, I'm saying it's a Mustang, it's the plane that comes to mind, would only do 500 miles. They tried it and they got over 1,500 miles. That was an awful change. And so they did it. And so they proceeded with it. And it could be possible here. But there's other elements in this that's in the sky forming this. This is more than silver. You know, I stood one day and I looked at this. It just happened that afternoon that I caught it as it was layering. It comes actually down in layers. You can see the various layers in the sun as it's reflecting from the sun. It's an amazing sight. It's like a blanket upon the top of a blanket, and they're all like separated, and it's dropping. Now, as a child, I never saw this. Only up until a few years ago. Now, the likes of the BBC and others who have been approached about these, what's known apparently as chemtrails, they denied them. So they're vapor trails. No, they're not. Are they? Buggery. And occasionally, I've seen, on occasions, even now, vapor trails left by planes, and they are beautiful because you can see them dissipating behind the plane. These don't. These remain in the air. They come down in layers, How can vapour trails come down in layers? How can vapour trails cause this effect? This cloudy effect? Reflecting back the sun. That's what it's doing. There's a layer here reflecting back the sun. It's a barrier. So what's all this about? What are they spraying through the air? What are we breathing in? What's going into the ground and into the water supply? More pigging chemicals. And they look like heavy chemicals. Heavy metallic substances. Poisoning us. Basically. Poisoning us. And what for? What big idea is behind this? Huh? Why is it that we can see vapour trails with some planes at certain times of the year? At least I've seen them, and I'm sure others have seen them. And yet we have this effect when it comes to the likes of summer in the UK. I don't know what it's like abroad, but in the summer in the UK, they then begin this lot. It's just strange, and people are explaining it away, and it's vapour trails, and it's how the plane goes through the sky, and it just leaves this behind. Well, I've never seen this in my childhood, as I say, until recently. So what's changed? Secondly, why is it that if you stand there long enough, and I mean long enough, or you're lucky enough to see the thing as I did that particular afternoon, when it was approaching the ground, layers, like, as I say, blankets coming down. That's nothing to do with air passing over a plane. Nothing whatsoever. I love vapour trails because they're natural. This lot is not. I don't care what anybody says. This is happening. People like to deny things these days that might harm them. They don't want to know. They turn the other way. They make excuses rather than face up to the fact of what is going on. And because they're not facing up to the fact of what's going on, they're not protesting against what's going on, and therefore those that are into doing these things are encouraged to continue to do even more. And as they're doing even more, these plebs, as the MPs have said about us, turn their eyes, avert their eyes from this lot. And after a time, they don't even have to do that. It becomes automatic. Automatic. And these are the persons we contend with, and it's like banging your head against a brick wall because they've completely gone over to the side of darkness and they can't see the light of truth. And this is why governments always get children and focus on children rather than adults when it comes to education. Because they can impress upon children their standards, their ways, their teachings. Once you get to being adults, the vast majority are so in darkness that you can't reach them. Well, we'll leave it at this, but this is what's going on. You shouldn't be afraid. It's just going on, and we should just accept it. Just as we accept the food that we eat is mass produced, it's forced up, phosphagen, chemicals, producing the stuff to grow faster, there's no nourishment in it, it's just plastic food, plastic vegetables. Go into a supermarket and can't sniff an onion, can you? Or a potato. You go into a farm where there's organic food, and you can say, oh, that smells like a tater. Oh, that's a bag of taters over there. And a cabbage you can smell. You do it in your garden. Grow stuff. in the garden, pull it up, and you can sniff it. Sniff a carrot. A carrot is a carrot for some reason. Your mind goes, oh, that's a carrot. Wow. And that's a potato. And that's a cabbage. That's a cauliflower. And yet you go to these stores or in the supermarkets, there's no smell. It's the same with onions. Because they're not being forced up. So they've had time to mature in the ground. And this also is how we discern between the con men, because there are people out there saying this is organically grown. And just because they put a sign on it saying organically grown, we're to accept it. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. I'll pick a carrot up, I'll pick an onion up, I'll pick a potato up, and I'll sniff it. And the smell will tell me if that's organically grown. And what is more, if you go into one of these organic shops, you should be able to smell vegetables. Can you? If they are organically grown, you should be able to smell vegetables. I can assure you of that. Having been brought up before all this intensive farming took place, in a village, going into the greengrocers, and as you went in, you could smell the carrot, you could smell the veg. It was a greengrocer's not only in name, but in smell. And this is how we detect it. If there's no smell with a carrot, no smell with an onion, no smell with a tatty, there's nothing about them, then it's not organic. They've probably gone down to picking supermarket, bought a load of stuff, put it on sale, put a card on saying organic, organically grown, and some dumpies come along going, no, you're organically grown, I got some, hey, hey, hey mum, hey dad, hey, got some organically grown vegetables here. Yeah, cost you twice as much as a picking supermarket, and they're from the picking supermarket probably. Well, me and Molly, we're going now. We're going for a lunch, aren't we? You're going to treat me to my lunch? Yeah, I can well believe that. Yeah, go on and get your coat. Get your coat. Go on. Right. Now then. Oh, hang on. What's this? Staples? What have you got staples in it? Hang on. This empty box of staples. What are you doing? What has happened to the staples? You tell me, Molly. What have you done with the staples? You've eaten them. What the hell did you eat staples for? Oh, I see. Because the doctor said you needed to be on a staple diet. No, no, no. Not that staple, you twit. Let's go.